James Morrison passou por Portugal para apresentar o seu mais recente disco The Awakening. O seu terceiro trabalho de originais aponta novas direções na sonoridade deste cantautor. What do you feel you want to say about it?
When I first started, I just wanted to write an album that I felt good about. I felt like I've been through the music industry thing, and it just didn't leave me with a good taste in my mouth. I felt like if I didn't get this album right, then I was going to disappear and not do anything else. You know, I'd rather just be at home with my daughter. You know, I lost my dad, and I tried to write some songs about it that I felt good about, and that was kind of enough for me, really. Record it live in the room with a band and get some of that sort of a proper album feel rather than going to a studio and tracking it up and making it sound like a studio album. I wanted it to sound like a live album with more electric guitar in it, and I just wanted it to be less like romantic. But I'm romantic about life, man. I am a romantic about life, not just about girls and relationships. I'm romantic about life, so I wanted to get some more of that into the album. You know, I wrote songs like The Awakening and Beautiful Life and Forever, and just songs that have a bit of a romanticism about them. Songs like The Awakening that's a bit more heavier. I wanted it to sound a little bit sort of like have a bit of an Eastern kind of feel to it with some of the notes and the scales and stuff. But I wanted it to be more rocky. I wrote a song called Person I Should Have Been, which I actually wrote in Portugal when I was here. I wanted it to sound a bit like Fado, but it didn't sound anything like Fado music. There's a song called Slave to Music, which is a little bit more funk soul. It's probably the most danciest tune I've ever kind of written, really. Didn't want it to be a melancholy album, but I wanted it to have some dark songs like Up. I wrote about my dad, and then it ended up being a single with Jessie J. I actually said no to any duets in the beginning. Broken Strings was like an experiment for me, and it kind of went too right, you know. I felt like, okay, I'm not going to do a duet again. But then it kind of just turned into a duet by itself, you know. It was a personal song about my dad. I didn't ever think it was going to be a single, but everyone really liked it, and we got a session singer on the demo. She was like doing some harmonies, and then he got to do a verse as well, and it just sounded really good as a duet.
How can you describe your show now?
I'd say it's kind of like a bit of rock and roll. It's not loads of rock and roll, but it's a bit of rock and roll with a bit of soul, a bit of, you know. I just try and play the songs in a classic way. You know, I've been to see Bruce Springsteen live. I've been to see Stevie Wonder live. You know, I just want it to sound really, really good and reminiscent of all those great sort of musics that I've always loved from the 60s, the 70s. I don't want it to be too showy, you know. I'm really aware of not getting too big for my boots and being able to bring it. I almost want it to feel like there's 4,000 people coming into my living room. Yeah. You know, that's the kind of show it is, really.
So gone, nothing seems to fit no more. Nothing size it was before me.